In the heart of the city, where the chochos honk like angry geese and the dust dances in the heat, there was a boy named Yao. Yao didn't have a building or a roof. He had a small wooden table, painted bright yellow, which he squeezed into a narrow gap right where the buses parked. On his table sat 3 large pots, steaming with the most fragrant jollof rice in all of Ghana. Every morning, Axel the driver would pull his heavy bus into the station. Before he even turned off his engine, the smell of Yao's spices would drift through his window. Axel didn't have time to wonder or search. He just leaned out, shouted a greeting, and handed over a few cedis. In a blink, Yao would hand him a steaming bowl of rice topped with a spicy pepper sauce that made Axel's eyes water with joy. 2 streets away, in a quiet corner behind the textile market, Sarah worked in the Palace of Flavor. It was the most beautiful shop in the district. It had white-tiled floors, 4 swirling ceiling fans, and enough polished wooden chairs to seat 20 people. Sarah's jollof was just as delicious as Yao's, and her kitchen was 10 times larger. Sarah and her auntie Mansa spent their afternoons polishing the glass windows and dusting the empty chairs. "Why does no one come?" Sarah asked, looking at the mountain of unsold rice. Mansa sighed and straightened the tablecloth. "We have the best seats in the city, Sarah. Perhaps they are just not hungry today." Back at the terminal, the world was a whirlwind of feet and noise. Yao was so busy, he barely had time to wipe his brow. He was a master of the station shuffle, dodging porters with heavy crates and travelers dragging suitcases. Every time a bus door slid open, a new crowd of hungry people landed right in front of his yellow table. Axel and the other drivers kept the line moving, their engines idling nearby. Sarah's shop remained a cool, quiet island. She and Mansa sat together in the back, listening to the distant hum of the station. "Our shop is huge," Sarah whispered. "We have more space than 10 Yaos. Why does his pot always stay empty by noon while ours stays full?" Mansa looked at the quiet alleyway outside. "A palace is only a palace if the king can find the front door," she mused. One afternoon, Sarah decided to see for herself. She walked through the market, pushed through the crowd of cloth sellers, and finally reached the shouting, steaming chaos of the bus terminal. There, she found Yao. He was surrounded by people. He didn't have a fan or a chair, just his little yellow table and a stack of napkins. "Yao," Sarah called out when the crowd thinned a second. "How do you do it? My shop is grand and comfortable, but no one visits. You have a tiny table in the sun, yet you are sold out." Yao wiped his hands on his apron and grinned. "Sarah, your food is a treasure, but it is a hidden treasure. People here don't have time to seek. They buy what they can see before the bus leaves." The next day, there wasn't just one spot of color at the station. Next to Yao's yellow table stood Sarah with her bright umbrella and her tray of food. She didn't have her fans or her chairs, but she had the eyes of every traveler who stepped off a bus. Yao gave her thumbs up as Axel pulled in, shouting for 2 bowls this time. Sarah realized that a small spot in the light is worth more than a giant room in the shadows.